She is a rice farmer. Her rice paddies were destroyed by the 130 million liters of water pumped from the Thai cave in the rescue mission of 12 boys. Her response: children are more important than rice. We can regrow rice, but we can't regrow the children. This dedicated doctor in South Africa never gave up. After a woman was taken to the hospital with hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, 2 policemen stayed behind to prepare dinner for the 5 kids who were still in the house. Afterwards, they also did the dishes. Herman Gordon, a cleaner at Bristol Uni, was brought to tears by kind students who raised money for him to go to Jamaica to see his family. James Harrison, who has saved 2.4 million babies by donating blood every week for 60 years, making his last donation. He had rare antibody in his blood that helps protect babies from rhesus disease. Egyptian fan lifted by Mexican and Colombian fans so he could see his team play. Mohamad, a Syrian refugee in Lebanon. This is Captain Black. Saudi police officers handing out roses to women drivers. Today is the first day they can drive legally. All moms are the same. On my hellish NYC commute. This 72-year-old widower has taken his wife's portrait to the pier where they fell in love every morning since she died 7 years ago. This guy, while waiting for the bus, picked up all the trash around him and put it in the bin. Let's be more like him. Felix Sanchez's grandma passed away while he was set to participate at the 2008 Beijing Summer Olympics. Running through emotions, Sanchez would finish 22nd out of 25. He made a promise to win a gold medal for his grandma. 4 years later in London he won his gold, bringing his grandma's picture pinned behind his race bib. This is him after winning with the picture in front of him. After driving Uber for over 15 hours a day for a few years, my dad finally decided to realize his dream of starting a restaurant. Here's him getting a culinary degree. I know this looks meaningless, but to me it's my world. My wife and daughter sleeping with their feet on me, on our couch in our home. 421 days ago I was in active addiction, homeless, putting my family through a living hell. This is my recovery, peace and purpose. I just had to share it with someone. Prince Harry invited an orphan that he met 14 years ago in Africa to the royal wedding. The halls of a high school in Texas filled with students supporting their classmate after his mother lost her battle with cancer. I sold my truck to pay for her surgery. I'm actually crying. I live in a building with an autistic man who is bipolar and has angry outbursts. Last week he said something really unkind. He struggles with understanding he's in the wrong and apologizing, but he gave me this today. Fallen tree was found with woodpecker nest inside. Section with nest was cut out and taped to a nearby tree, successfully bringing the mother back. Almost a year ago, I started a breakthrough treatment intended to halt the progressive nature of my disease. Last night, I sat upright, unassisted, for the first time in 15 plus years. True marriage goals. Thanks to those who helped and/or smiled. Tammy Waddell taught at school for 25 years. Her obituary asked that in lieu of flowers, mourners should bring backpacks filled with school supplies, to honor her commitment to students in need. Tidying out my grand's shed and rediscovered the mini bench press my granddad welded for me 20 years ago so I could work out with my dad when I was 5. Words can't describe how much this means to me. When I was 5 I gave my dad a ring made of a just keychain ring 22 years later, and he's still wearing it. My dad's dog Rio is 14 years old and recently went blind. He pats his leg when he walks and she follows him everywhere he goes. Mom got him the perfect shirt. My graduating class and our 92-year-old classmate. Garbage man taking a break. "17 years later. Finally made it. Lebaron's I Promise School. You saved my life. I knew I was going to die at that shelter, but you saved me today, dog, saved from euthanasia, thanks his savior." After a year of living on the streets, Phil has landed a job at McDonald's thanks in part to the Tallahassee police officer who gave him a shave and fresh clothes before his interview. My grandpa is quickly losing brain function as he ages. I thought to try Legos this weekend. Got him a small box and we basically just sort by colors. So far seems like a good way to stay thoughtful. This is how heroes rest. All 13 of Thai soccer team rescued from cave after 17 days. Never too late. Things have changed. After bad storms, this retired old man goes around our neighborhood and cleans the debris out of yards and catch basins. When I asked him why, he said, "Because I am retired and have the time to help." 10/10ths great dude. Young man comes in alone, sees the older lady eating by herself, asks to join her. Instant friends. This is what is right in the world. A teenager wrote over 40 heartfelt notes and attached them to the railings of England's Wearmouth Bridge to offer solace to people facing a mental health crisis. Police have credited her with saving 6 lives so far. 2 naughty boys stole the postman's lunch. These workmen are awesome. This man has sat down for a few minutes to explain to our boys all about the road works. My eyes are watering. When I was 6 years old, my dad told me he would give me $5 if I found a 4-leaf clover. I spent countless hours looking for one in my yard. Today I was watering my new trees and saw this. My dad is no longer with us, but I yelled at the top of my lungs, "Dad, you owe me $5. Amazon tribe wins lawsuit, blocks big oil's bid to destroy millions of acres of rainforest. My mom always made me a birthday cake. Every year for 44 years. 2 months since she died and my old dad tried his hardest and my heart melted. Love is all that matters. An elementary school bus driver asked every kid on his bus what they wanted for Christmas. He bought every child a gift. Read this on one of the FB groups. Warmed my heart. Her mother died when she was 3 months old and they don't have a picture together, so this artist made this for her. I think someone has a crush on my Christmas light decoration. This mare lost her foal and then, 2 days later, this foal lost its mother. Here they are an hour after meeting. We're one family. This kid. I was having a bad day and this dog walked to my bus stop, sat on the bench and asked me for pets. I'm now having a good day. My aunt's friends just finalized the adoption of their 2 kids. George the Jack Russell saved 5 children from being attacked by 2 pit bulls in New Zealand. A homeless man in Brazil was rushed to hospital. These 4 street dogs he has been looking after are waiting at the entrance of the hospital for him. When I was younger I had dreams of being this hardcore gangster rapper. I guess things change. Kate yelled out in the store, "Daddy, I have a twin." The world could learn from kids. Some good news from 2018. Two parents listening to the heart transplanted from their 23-year-old son, who overdosed on opioids. Somewhere in heaven there's a black and white dog taking care of 7 golden lab puppies. Be so happy you make others happy. I volunteer for a dog rescue. We love seeing updates of the dogs in their new homes. This one made me smile. Same tie. Graduate takes powerful photo with parents in the fruit field they worked in to give her a better future. This duck used to come to my porch for food. Recently, she brought her babies. I've been watching them grow up. These young guys saved their elderly neighbor Mr. C from a house fire. A big brother helps his father give skin-to-skin contact to his premature twin siblings. Nearly every day this elderly woman stands with this sign up, facing the traffic. How to service dog. This grandfather with vitiligo crochets dolls for children with the condition. 5-year-old girl gently supporting her 4-year-old brother as the side effects of chemotherapy disrupt their playtime. Police officer pulled over a drunk woman whose baby was covered in feces and vomit in the back seat. The baby was screaming, so the officer bathed him in the barracks sink. Police officer pictured distracting a little girl after her dad died in car accident says he began singing, "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star," to comfort her. Man reunited with his dog after fires in Paradise, CA. A good father. This man left his 40-year-long career in another airline to join AirAsia and fly as a junior just so he could fly with his 2 pilot daughters. 2 officers stopped to help a young boy change a bike tire after they noticed he was struggling on his own. If my ICU patients forget for just a few minutes that they're stuck in ICU over Christmas, then it was all worth it. Every day my parents play Mario Kart 64 to see who will make a cup of tea. They've done this religiously since 2001. My wife was diagnosed with breast cancer at 7 months pregnant, started chemo 7 weeks ago and gave birth to a healthy baby boy early this morning. This note was left on the gate at the water this afternoon. Ashton Kutcher, y'all. My dad went from, "I don't want that dang cat," to carrying her to her room for bed each night. Dad took us to water park. We are 24. 2 years ago, this intersection in my hometown of Charlottesville became known for hate. This morning, I drew the crosswalk into a symbol of unity. Here is my wife thinking she is surprising me, scraping snow off my car, after a 12-hour night shift at the hospital. I'm a lucky fella. Sent a text to my grandparents, they were so happy they framed it. My dad got me right in the feels today with a wallet. One about the love between sisters. Neighbors called the cops, we fight with them.